Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Are we okay for testing now?
Yeah, just go. Testing,
Yeah.
testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
You can hear the levels going to be on the delay now because it'll be going on the YouTube stream. So once it's testing and you give it 10 seconds, you need to go through. There are 2 on that now.
This is the centenary Dr. Harty Cup final. Can you turn up this volume?
It's on. You just have to wait for it to go through and the stream sound.
Testing 1, 2. Ortskull Reach of Limerick feature against Middleton CBS in the centenary Dr. Harty Cup final. That's perfect. I know what you're saying now. Okay. So what we'll do is, I just want to know about positions, right? Yeah. Jack will be here, right?
Yeah, you'll be listening to the
Is that okay there?
Yeah, that's fine there. No problem with that.
So I'll be here. Whatever his position is.
I can hear you talking about it, that's right.
A very good afternoon and welcome to our live coverage on Sporting Limerick of the Centenary Dr. Harty Cup final. It's the final of 2018 involving Ortskull Reach of Limerick and Middleton CBS of Cork. A wonderful final is in prospect as we have an opportunity to look at the teams, beginning with Ortskull Reach, captained at centre half back by Ronan Connolly. In defence, key players include goalkeeper Jason Gallan and Josh Considine at full back. Rory Duff and Diarmuid Ryan are chosen at midfield. Top scorer Paul O'Brien leads an attack that also has Aidan Moriarty, David Wolfe and Conor Burke. Meanwhile, we have an opportunity now to switch our attention to the Middleton CBS team. They too going through their paces at the opposite side of the ground. Aaron Walsh-Barry of Carricktohil, centre half back and team captain. Behind him, Sean O'Sullivan in a full back line that has Dylan Hogan and Owen O'Sullivan. Cian Farmer and Ger Millerick are at midfield. Liam O'Shea has been named at centre half forward. The full forward line at full forward has Joe Stack, Cathal Hickey and also Arthur Inganu. Matt O'Callaghan is alongside me for this afternoon's live streaming on Sporting Limerick. Matt, it has the makings of a very good final.
Absolutely, Mal. I suppose it's the final that an awful lot of people dreamed about from the very start of this competition, and I suppose the randomness of the draw ordained that they would be in the one group, and so they have already crossed sticks this year in the third round of the group stage when just a point separated them. But if we just go back a further 12 months, Mal. They met in the quarter-final last year, and it took a replay before Middleton CBS got the better of Ortskull. So it's really delicately poised, and it would take a brave man to say for definite who's going to prevail here today.
Well, the one thing that is certain, in the event of a draw this afternoon in Mallow, there will be no extra time. The match itself will go to replay. There is a little bit of a gap between now and the All-Ireland stages of the competition. Fine crowd as well, Matt.
Yeah, there's a huge crowd. I came in there by Oliver's Cross, which is known locally here, which is less than a quarter of a mile here from the ground, and there was a huge crowd coming in from the Fermoy Road, which of course would be the road for the Middleton support. They seem to have huge support here. The stand is full. There's a great atmosphere here, and a great atmosphere building up, around the ground. And we have the Killarglen Pipe Band who are going to regale us and regale the two teams before it. So it's all building up to being a great day.
They could be busy, Matt, as it has been announced there's a 10-minute delay to the start of the match.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because I coming in here now at around 45 minutes before the game, the car parking facilities were taxed to the full at that stage, and quite a lot of stewards are on, and they're stewarding it very well here. They were taxed to the limit to try and find spaces for cars, so I would imagine that people are parking on the road here. If anybody knows the complex here in Mallow, it's a bit in off the main road, so they will have a bit of walking to do. So it doesn't surprise me that there is a delay, but I just wonder how it will impact on the teams who have been out and have been doing their preparation and have been doing their routine on the basis that could be starting at 1:30. They don't seem to be affected by it now. Both sides are at opposite ends here, and they're going through their routines diligently.
Well, it's going to be disruptive in terms of the preparation for the 2018 Dr. Harty Cup final in Mallow, as it has been announced that there will be a 10-minute delay. So today's final will now start at 1:40 in Mallow, and Sporting Limerick will be streaming live, and commentary will return just shortly before throw-in from Mallow for the final involving Ortskull Reach of Limerick and Middleton CBS of Cork. the Mallow GA complex here in North Cork, providing the venue for the Harty Cup final of 2018, which has a now delayed start until 1:40 due to traffic congestion leading into the venue. It's a final that features Ortskull Reach of Limerick and Middleton CBS. Matt O'Callaghan is alongside me, slightly behind schedule. Now we have the teams lining up behind the Kilorglan Pipe Band.
Yeah, I suppose the countdown is really on to the real start now at this stage. But I'm hearing that there's a huge crowd still trying to get in here, and that parking is really at a premium out there, and there is a build-up. Just speaking to somebody there now that was within less than a half mile of the ground, and it took him 20 minutes to get in here. That will give you an idea of the interest that is in this game, and it doesn't surprise me in the least when you look at the record of both of these sides, and when you look at the record between them in over the last two years, last year and this year. It is no surprise, because if there was ever the ingredients for a classic schools colleges final, this is it, Mal.
Should there have been consideration given to bring the teams back in for that 10 or 15 minute period?
Yeah, obviously the respective managements had to make a judgment call and had to make an instant judgment call, and obviously I suppose it's fair to say if the delay was longer than 10 minutes, even if it stretched to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or it could have gone to half an hour, they certainly would have had to have a rethink, and they would certainly have reconsidered taking him in. But it just I was just watching him out there, and it just didn't seem. What they did was they proceeded with the routine for 10 minutes longer. That's basically what they did. And of course, the parade behind the band here now is going to fill in 4 or 5 more minutes of it. So yeah, I don't think it obviously didn't come into the consideration of either side, to answer your question, but had it been longer, I would imagine it certainly would.
We're now watching the two teams parade behind the Kilorglan Pipe Band ahead of the playing of the 2018, which incidentally is the centenary Dr. Harty Cup final, being played here in Mallow this afternoon and being streamed live on Sporting Limerick. It's a final that involves Ortskull Reach of Limerick and Middleton CBS of Cork. Two very fine teams. A noisy atmosphere as well prevailing around Mallow, given the band of young enthusiastic supporters and the not so young following their respective teams in this, the A Colleges hurling final in Munster. Both teams will advance to the All-Ireland Series as well, one of course as winners and the other as runners-up. Not long to go, Matt. Countdown is well underway.
Not long to go. You're right. Whilst the Dr. Harty Cup is at stake here, elimination from the All-Ireland Series is not an issue, as the winners today go through to the All-Ireland semi-final, which is sometime like around this day month, I think, and the losers go into the quarter-final. Now they are going to be meeting, the losers of this final today are going to be meeting the Leinster runners-up. Now St. Kieran's and Dublin North are in the Leinster final. Now were St. Kieran's to win that, Dublin North cannot go through as runners-up. So there will be a playoff between Kilkenny CBS and St. Peter's of Wexford, who were the beaten semi-finalists in Leinster, to determine who will go on to the All-Ireland Series.
Complicated. Certainly is. It's already complicated in Mallow because we have this time delay, but there's not long now to go before the start of the Harty Cup final. The referee today for the final is the very experienced Fergal Hogan of Tipperary. He refereed the earlier meeting between these two teams in the preliminary round, a game won in Boherlahan by Ortskull Reach, 2-16 for them, 1-18 for Middleton CBS. Fergal too took charge of the 2017 All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship final. The day is brightened up considerably here at Mallow.
It has brightened up considerably, and it's a pleasant day actually for hurling. Just wondering about the ground conditions. I was here in Mallow yesterday. It was quite wet, but just thinking about the lead into this into the final, Mal. The teams enjoyed contrasting fortunes in many ways in their respective semi-finals. Ardscoil Reach were surprisingly put to the pin of their collar here by CBC in the semi-final, whilst Middleton ran right when they were overcoming All-Ireland champions and Harty Cup holders Templemore in their semi-final. How much that's going to feed into today, I don't know, but I would imagine that it was a timely wake-up call and a tough there's nothing to beat a tough semi-final going into an All-Ireland final or to a Dr. Harty final.
We're here at Mallow, preparing themselves for the playing of the national anthem, the Kilorglan Pipe Band, who have entertained the very big crowd here for the last little while. Oron Navian. A very big crowd in Mallow GA Complex this afternoon for the Dr. Harty Cup final of 2018, that after a delay will be getting underway shortly, featuring Ardscoil Reach of Limerick and Middleton CBS of Cork. Difficult one, Matt O'Callaghan, to call.
Absolutely, for the reasons that I just said a while ago. I honestly think that there certainly will be no complacency on the part of Ardscoil Reach, because they got the fright of their lives here in the semi-final, especially when CBC got their second goal down here and went 2 points clear with 10 minutes to go. But having said that, they rejigged their forces in the hour of need, particularly at the back, and they brought on fresh legs up front. But when it mattered, some of the senior players that you would expect from Ardscoil Reach to stand up, they stood up and they dug it out. Whilst if there's any grounds for complacency, it would probably be in the Middleton side. They won their semi-final so easily.
A few positional switches on the Middleton CBS team as we are about to get underway eventually. Middleton have brought Dara Morn, their right half forward, out to midfield where he partners Ger Millerick. As we watch it in the first 30 minutes of this game, Middleton CBS will be playing right to left. Early scores will be important. Ger Millerick touches that one forward. Ronan Connolly, Ardscoil Reach centre half back and team captain, pops it down towards his full forward line. Middleton CBS reading this situation best. Sean O'Sullivan and Sean O'Leary Hayes back with Podrick Heaney, and Ardscoil Reach looking for an avenue down towards David Wolfe. Wolfe being challenged closely by Dylan Hogan. Loose ball, it's available on the Ardscoil Reach team. Looking for options. The Limerick team, 4 times winners of this Dr. Harty Cup, all inside the last 10 years. Ardscoil of the North Circular Road in Limerick. Lovely ball delivered towards Cathal O'Neill. O'Neill is looking for an angle. That's really spread out the field towards Moriarty. Aidan Moriarty looking for a way through. Still Moriarty, closely pursued by the captain of the Middleton CBS team. And Sean O'Leary Hayes has it away. Middleton CBS adding to it. We're still inside the first 90 seconds. Joe Stack is the full forward. Stack with a chance, and Stack with the opening point of the day. Good point by Joe Stack.
Yeah, an excellent point. Excellently worked out of defence first, down along the left here, and to Joe Stack. And you would have to say, if you were flagging one of the danger men, and there are a couple of danger men in this Middleton team, Joe Stack is certainly one of them. He won an All-Ireland with Cork at under 17 last year. He's a very, very exciting young forward.
Green Considine dispossessed by Ono Sullivan. Ball spills loose. Aidan Moriarty for Orskull Reach looking to level the game, and he's done just that. Aidan Moriarty cancelling out the earlier point from Joe Stack. It's level, very early days in this contest.
Yeah, from an Orskull Reach point of view, it was the perfect response. It was a long range, well taken point. He just looked up, had a pot at it, and straight between the sticks.
Orskull looking for a second point, but this effort from the midfielder Diarmuid Ryan has gone to the left. Diarmuid Ryan of the Cratloe Club, a member of the Clare Minor setup, so too Rory Duff on the Limerick side, Mungo St. Paul's his club. Referee Fergal Hogan has given the free. It's a chance for Orskull Reach in the 3rd minute to take the lead for what would be the first time. Paul O'Brien will be on free taking duty.
Yeah, this will be Paul O'Brien, and this will give an indication. It's almost on the halfway line. But having looked at how the teams have set out, there seems to be very little resemblance between what we've seen in the programme and the way they have set out at the moment. One thing that does seem certain is that Sean O'Leary Hayes is picking up Orskull Reach danger man Paul O'Brien, because he has lived under his jersey for the first couple of minutes. But we'll see how that pans out. But that's gone over the bar from Paul O'Brien from distance.
First point of the afternoon, Paul O'Brien, who had 8 points to his credit in the semi-final. He'll be very pleased with that early scoring opportunity for him, and it's one that has Orskull Reach in front here, leading by the odd point in 3. Linesman has called it in favour of Middleton CBS, who this afternoon in Mallow are chasing their first title since 2006, and were it to work out for them, it would be their 4th win.
Yeah, it would be their 4th title. When they won it in 2006, they were captained by Paddy O'Sullivan, who later went on to play senior with Cork. And they on that occasion they surprised Thurles CBS in the semi-final and beat St. Flannan's team that include Limerick's Seamus Hickey in the final.
Orskull have possession around centre field. Advancing, it's Paul O'Brien getting the better of Aaron Walsh-Barry. Still Paul O'Brien. O'Brien, the centre half forward, needs support. Diarmuid Ryan, the player, making himself available, and Ryan has slipped neatly past his opponent. Strong challenge, but a fair one, says the referee, the Tipperary official. Meanwhile, here's a chance, and what a goal! Considine of Cratloe and Orskull Reach, goals for the Limerick champions.
Yeah, a terrific goal, but terrific work by Diarmuid Ryan. But just to give an idea about Diarmuid Ryan lined out with Clare in the Munster Senior League final this year, and by his standards he had a very disappointing game against CBC here in the semi-final, but he is certainly in the first. It's payback time with him, and 6 minutes into the game he was totally responsible for that. It was a great run up the right. He shook off a couple of tackles, and the flick across to Reen Considine. Clare Minors of 2017 combining, fine goal.
At centre field, 2 yellow cards have been issued, one for Middleton, Liam O'Shea, one for Orskull, Killian O'Reilly. All the drama here in Mallow surrounding the goal from the full forward Reen Considine, as we play almost 6 minutes of the 2018 Dr. Harty Cup final. Orskull Reach of Limerick, who fell behind early on through the Joe Stack point, now suddenly find themselves 4 points in front.
Yeah. Well, Liam Cronin and the backroom team in Orskull will be absolutely delighted with the response. Whilst they were a bit lethargic early on in the semi-final against CBC, they've hit the ground running from the start here today.
Orskull looking to build on their early lead. Here's Diarmuid Ryan. Still Ryan playing it forward. Middleton CBS looking to settle. They had a very good start with that point by Joe Stack. They could do with another one right now. Picked up by Rory Duff. Duff finds support with his captain Ronan Connolly. Connolly way down the left wing. Well fetched by David Wolfe. Wolfe looking for a way through. Seems to have found it momentarily. In need of support. In the end, it's Owen O'Sullivan from Middleton CBS to their rescue. As far as Liam O'Shea, ball touched down. Conor Burke listed at left full forward, but certainly not playing anywhere near that top of the left position. Middleton CBS find themselves in possession with this resulting line ball. Last one was good. This one pretty good as well by Liam O'Shea. Liam Gosnell hasn't seen much of the ball so far. Jerome Boylan dispossesses him. Still alive for Middleton, not for long, and that's Padraig Heaney that brings play towards a crowded midfield area in Mallow.
Middleton are finding it hard in this first 7 or 8 minutes to get a pattern going and get the ball into their forwards. There's something might be about to happen here.
And it is. Liam Gosnell of Carricktuhel, team captain, leading by example. That's his first point of the afternoon. A second from Middleton CBS. The scores for the Cork side have been well spread out, but they're still very much in the hunt. Just 3 points adrift. Jason Gallan, the player that resumed the play, the goalkeeper for Ortskull reached that time. Up with the action towards the 20. Are Ortskull going for a second goal? They are, and it's out for a 65. Very good save. David Wolfe of Kilmallock, the player that was through, and Alan Power of Middleton producing a good save at the expense of a 65.
Yeah, you would have to say that our Sculreach are making progress against what, on paper at least, looks a very, very strong Middleton half-back line, and they're giving him the chance. There was an excellent chance that was created. Now, no fault at all of David Wolfe for not taking it. It was an excellent save by the goalkeeper.
Paul O'Brien. It's the first 65 of the afternoon in this, the Dr. Harty Cup final, being played in very fine conditions here in Mallow this afternoon. Paul O'Brien plays his club hurling in Limerick with Mungret St. Paul's, one of several players from that club on the starting blocks for Ortskull Reach today. Here's the 65 attempt. There was never any single doubt about it. It's a second point for the centre half forward, both from dead ball situations, an earlier free, and now that 65-metre strike successful.
Yeah, Middleton should know at this stage what Paul O'Brien is capable of. Now, all right, that was a 65, but the two place balls that he has hit, the 65 and one from almost the halfway line from distance, is going to prove very costly with the type of form that Paul O'Brien is in today. If they continue to give away, or if they give away needless frees, they've only given away one within his distance at the moment, but the game is less than 10 minutes old.
Middleton CBS have pumped this one through towards their full forward. Farmer is one of those in there, so too Joe Stack. In the end, it's out as far as Ronan Connolly. Connolly brings play to halfway, picked up by Jamie Landers. Landers for Middleton CBS. The free has been earned by the advancing defender from Killa, wearing the number 7 jersey. The very first winners of this Dr. Harty Cup, way back all those years ago, 99, 100 years ago, were Rockwell College. 100 years on, it will either be Ortskull Reach or Middleton CBS that will win the title. Ortskull have won it on 4 previous occasions. Middleton CBS have won it 3 times. Free for Middleton CBS. Difficult angle, very testing here for the free taker as he looks to close the gap down to 3 points. It's Liam Gosnell that is striking it towards the goal. Wonderful effort. Liam Gosnell with his second point of the afternoon. His first from a free. Very good player, scored 9 points in the semi-final win against Our Lady's Templemore.
The early indications here, Mal, to both defences, do not give away frees as both marksmen are in good form.
Middleton CBS setting up an attack. That was forward by Ger Millerick. Here's a chance now. Arthur partially blocked. Arthur Inganu the Middleton man who scored 1-1 last time out, was bearing down on goal. Credit the Ortskull Reach defence, no 65 conceded, but the referee, Fergal Hogan, is going to have a word, albeit a very brief one, with his umpire. No action to be taken. Play to restart with a goal puck out from Patrick Swells, Jason Galan.
Yeah, you would have to say that it's a chance that's kind of begging for Eganu. He seemed to do everything right, but he got absolutely no purchase on the shot that he got away, and really didn't even test the goalkeeper. He sent it wide.
Play has been stopped for an injury picked up by the Ortskull Reach centre half back Ronan Connolly. Interesting profile about him in the programme today. He revealed that he's been playing the piano since he was 5 years of age and is very accomplished at that. We'll have to find out in due course. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ortskull Reach have taken a quick goal puck out. It's come out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball now from Middleton CBS and Liam O'Shea to put the pressure back on Ortskull.
You're talking about Ronan Connolly being accomplished at the piano. He certainly is accomplished at hurling, because he's seeking a second Harty Cup medal today because he won one in 2016.
Sideline cut, wasn't too far away, but it's not between the uprights. The effort was by Liam O'Shea. And that's maybe the second wide of this Harty Cup final for Middleton CBS.
And of course, to continue on the Ronan Connolly team, he has been a Limerick minor for the last 2 years and played in the All-Ireland minor final of 2016. So he's quite an experienced operator, and he certainly had a very, very good semi-final here. When leadership was called for, Ronan Connolly certainly produced it.
Holding his ground well, Jerome Boylan initially. Now the shot going in and over from the stick of Diarmuid Ryan of Cratloe. Lovely score taken by the midfielder. Credit as well Jerome Boylan, who instigated the move. Ortskull Reach of Limerick are back leading by a margin of 4 points as we approach about the midway mark of the first half of the Dr. Harty Cup final, being streamed live on Sporting Limerick this afternoon from Mallow GA Complex. Ortskull slipped towards Paul O'Brien. O'Brien forward as far as David Wolfe. Wolfe looking to round his opponent, which he does. That's Sean O'Sullivan on the run. It doesn't matter. Good point, David Wolfe.
That's an excellent score by David Wolfe, because he had very, very little space there when he went to execute the shot in the grip on the hurley and got it over between the six. 5 points clear. Absolutely, Ortskull will be absolutely delighted.
Alan Power looking to set up something here for Middleton CBS. At this point, all the Ortskull Reach half forward line has scored. The goalkeeper now is quickly back in action, and that's Alan Power. Spot of bother, but he does well. Needs support. The Ortskull Reach attack are really crowding around their opposite numbers, including Jamie Landers on those. Ger Millerick back helping out his defence, the midfielder. Building it up from the back, courtesy of Dara Mourne. Mourne feeds it forward. That was aimed at Liam O'Shea, hasn't worked out. Ortskull Reach. Here's Killian O'Reilly. Patrick Swell. Great hurling club in Limerick. Fed forward quickly for Ortskull. Big battle on for possession. It's anybody's ball. Maybe the referee will throw it in. Jerome Boylan was one of those. Diarmuid Ryan, another involved. Here's Diarmuid Ryan, sent in. It's gone left.
You would have to say, Mal, and we're into the second quarter of the game. In the first quarter of the game, Diarmuid Ryan has had a huge influence in the game. He's having a huge game for Ortskull Reach today. He's, apart from being involved in the goal, he's got a point, and he really is dominating the exchanges around the middle there.
Goalkeeper doesn't seem to be all that happy with his goal effort out. That was Alan Power. It's going to work out okay though for Middleton CBS and their captain Sean O'Leary Hayes. One possession and suddenly it's spilled out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball from Middleton CBS, and as Matt pointed out, we are into the second quarter.
Yeah, you'd have to say that Ortskull Reach are full value for their 5 points lead. Middleton CBS have really got no pattern or rhythm going as of yet. Like, they've dangerous forwards in there, but the amount of ball that's going in is very, very little.
Here's one opportunity for them, but suddenly it's been swept away by Ord Skull. Strong shoulder between Gosnell and Ryan. Liam Gosnell looking to win it back. Another shoulder from Ryan, and Ryan gets it away. Hurley broken, line bowl for Middleton CBS. The tempo beginning to rise. Middleton need a score though.
We're just talking about it a minute ago. See the influence of Ryan there. Like, he fought back. He was twice involved in that move, albeit it went out over the line for the finish. But like, his involvement today is absolutely critical for Ardskull.
Middleton have thumped this one through towards their full forward line. They need something. Joe Stack fed as far as Cathal Hickey on the run. Here's Hickey. Delightful point by Cathal Hickey of Lisgould and Middleton CBS. A point, a precious one at that. Time-wise, we're 18 minutes into the first half, and not for the first time, Ord Skull have delivered it short towards Padraig Heaney. Heaney's long ball suddenly transferred inside the 45, knocked out by Owen O'Sullivan. Sideline strike is for Ord Skull.
Yeah, a well taken point for Middleton, you would have to say. In many ways, a kind of a rallying point, but yeah, we just see can they build on it.
Sideline strike, well populated Mallow G Sports Complex this afternoon for the Centenary Harty Cup final. Line ball is for Ord Skull Reach. Stroke forward by the centre half forward Paul O'Brien. It had the distanced inside forward line marked absent on that occasion, and it's a third or fourth wide for Ord Skull.
Yeah, that was a disappointing wide. I suppose Paul O'Brien would be disappointed with his stroke, but you're right, it went rather apologetically wide.
Middleton CBS dropped this one beyond midfield. It's picked up by Rory Duff. It was at least. Here's Cathal Hickey, Middleton CBS. Hickey partially hooked, but the ball still travels forward those 30 odd yards, and Diarmuid Ryan is having an outstanding match. Owen O'Sullivan, the player on defensive duty, driven away by the player from St. Coleman's to the opposite side towards Liam O'Shea. Alongside Ronan Connolly, it's back on the side of Ord Skull thanks to Connolly, the team captain. Support coming now with Jerome Bylan, or in the end it was Conor Burke. Burke sends it through towards Cathal O'Neill and Dylan Hogan. It's the Ord Skull forward that's going through. There is an opportunity. It is a goal. There was a moment that some of the supporters thought it was the side netting, but it is a goal for Ord Skull Reach of Limerick, and their second of the afternoon, and it puts them in a very comfortable position.
Yeah, and a very well taken goal by Cathal O'Neill, who is a very exciting young player from Crocora. He took his goal with aplomb there, but going back to it, Liam O'Shea was well beaten by Ronan Connolly there for that ball, and Liam O'Shea won a Cork Senior Hurling medal playing with him at Kelly last year, so that will give you an idea of the type of performance that Ord Skull are putting on so far, that they can negate players of that calibre.
Middleton CBS and Joe Stack, short ball through, doesn't work out for his team. Fullback Josh Considine feeds it away. The defence for Ord Skull Reach have been on top so far in this Harty Cup final, but there's a lot of hurling to be done in Mallow just yet. 21 minutes into the first half, and emerging from the Rocket players is Diarmuid Ryan. Big ball dropped forward towards his forward line, just a two-person inside forward line at times for Ord Skull, as Middleton need scores and go about setting up one through Cathal Hickey. The challenge was late by Paul O'Brien, the referee well positioned to note that. Fergal Hogan, no card issued. It's a free for Middleton, and they will be in a hurry to take it.
Yeah, it's a long distance. It looks like Liam Gosnell is coming over to take it. Now, they have dangerous forwards in there, in Joe Stack, Liam O'Shea, Liam Gosnell. These are the people that caused Ardscoil all sorts of problems 12 months ago. But they are being totally well marshalled today. You would have to say, and you alluded to in your commentary a minute ago, Mel, the Ardscoil Reach defence not only is on top, but is comfortably on top so far.
Liam O'Shea surprisingly has yet to score in this match as he knocks this one forward. That looks to be going in the right direction. The defence were in a spot of bother there, but it's been dealt with eventually by Ardscoil. The Middleton CBS attack are not functioning as of yet in this final in Mallow today. Rory Duff. Duff has a couple of options. One of those was Padraig Heaney. There was also another option. That was the one preferred, driven forward by Cillian O'Reilly. David Wolfe, short ball towards Cathal O'Neill. Had one goal a moment ago, this time blocked by Dylan Hogan. Knocked away eventually by Aaron Walsh-Barry, very close to the line. Paul O'Brien looking to keep it alive. Middleton CBS and Sean O'Leary Hayes, he was the last player to touch it, as the advantage being given for the Limerick team.
Middleton have yet to come up to the intensity and the work rate that Ardscoil are. They have high. Ardscoil have high intensity and high work rate in all areas of the field, right from number 15 back to number 1, and that is what is decisive so far. And like you'd have to say, they're full value for their 7 points lead at this point.
Paul O'Brien drops this one towards the fringe of the square, out towards the 13, and Middleton settle in that full back line to deliver a long clearance outfield. Liam O'Shea alongside him is Jerome Boyle, and the referee has stopped play, and rather wisely he's going to throw it in. We're inside the closing 7 minutes of the first half of the Harty Cup final, one that so far has been largely dominated by the team from Limerick, Ardscoil Reach, against their Cork opponents, Middleton CBS. But expect plenty more yet to come from Middleton. And Walsh-Barry has sent a lovely ball forward. The goalkeeper, Brave Cole, good clearance, Jason Galan. Club hurler with Patrickswell, a great hurling name these days, Galan. What with Aaron so much a part and parcel of the Limerick setup, and Damien, a member of the Ardscoil Reach management team this afternoon. That was a push, so says the referee Fergal Hogan. So says the vast majority of the crowd as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone I think would call that. Nobody would disagree with Fergal Hogan's decision there. It is a free, but we again saw there in that little cameo play that how comfortable Ardscoil Reach are defending him. You know, we can over harp on it, but you would have to say for the first 25 minutes they've totally dominated the Middleton forwards.
This the resulting free, pretty close to the touchline, stand side of the Mallow GA complex today. Liam Gosnell is striking it, doesn't seem to be that happy with his effort, and that's why it's sailed away towards the left and wide. A good 5 minutes to half time. Ardscoil Limerick 2-5, Middleton of Cork 4 points.
Yeah, I don't think that was on the script that any side, either side, would say 7 points clear at this stage. But that is what it is. And again, without being repetitive, Ardscoil are full value for it.
Once again, they're opting all this time for the short goal puck out. Emmett McAvoy was advancing, but meanwhile, off camera, there is an incident that had developed, and the referee is trying to calm the situation down. Everything is restored to normality in Mallow, and play can restart now eventually. Considine of Patrickswell and Ardscoil Reach sending it forward. Touchdown by O'Leary Hayes from Middleton. 2 or 3 players battling for possession around halfway. It's available for Middleton CBS. They could do with something special before the arrival of half-time in Mallow this afternoon. Right now it's Ord Skull that are sending it through. It's Cathal O'Neill having a fairly good match this afternoon, highlighted by that goal a few minutes back. It's still available for Ord Skull, Reach and Cathal O'Neill. A little bit of ball juggling on his part. The linesman has kept his flag down. In the end, it's Middleton CBS that are trying desperately to clear their lines. They have one or two players on the overlap, and they will use those. The clearance completed by Aaron Walsh-Barry. Big ball forward, and it falls favourably for Liam Gosnell. Gosnell looking and delivering a very important point. His third of the afternoon. The Carricktool team captain for Middleton CBS closes the margin between the two teams now to 2 goals.
Yeah, you would have to say we had a hiatus in scoring there for 7 minutes, but that was an excellent point by Liam Gosnell. But from a Middleton perspective, we'll need to see quite a lot more of it if they are to make inroads into this Ord Skull lead.
Ord Skull have delivered the ball through to the half-forward line. The free has been won by Rian Considine. That against Owen O'Sullivan, and the free is very much in a scoreable position here. 2-5 for Ord Skull Reach of Limerick, Middleton CBS of Cork 5 points. We're playing the closing 3 minutes of the first half of an enjoyable Dr. Hartley Cup final in Mallow today.
Certainly enjoyable, but not as close as was anticipated. But of course, there's a whole second half to come. But you would have to say, and without preempting what way it will be at half time, you would have to say that it will be a much bigger second half and a much more work to be done in the second half for Middleton than there will be for Ord Skull.
Free to be taken, and the free to be knocked straight between the uprights by Paul O'Brien. His third point of the day. The margin between the two sides here in Mallow has now widened to 7 points. Middleton CBS have scooped this one fairly lively as far as their full forward. Liam Gosnell is at full forward now. Emmett McAvoy alongside him, shadowing him well. Good play by McAvoy, but the referee has indicated that there will be a free for Middleton CBS in a tap-over situation unless they have a game plan, maybe to play short and go for a goal.
Possibly, there's certainly at this point the temptation may be there, but I think wisdom should prevail in this one, and I certainly would think that most coaches would be advocating that the free taker would send it over and take his point.
More than likely will be the situation here into the final minute of the first half, not going for a goal. Quite wisely, Liam Gosnell takes his point. It's his fourth of the opening half. He, along with Joe Stack and Cathal Hickey, have been on the score sheet for Middleton CBS in the first half. And though Ord Skull have dominated the first half, their lead is 6 points, and Middleton CBS, having played well within themselves, will feel that they're still very much in the hunt for the 2018 Dr. Hartley Cup final. It's Aidan Moriarty that has been fouled here, and Ord Skull have the free. Just 1 minute of stoppage time.
Yeah, I suppose 1 minute is probably right. It was free flowing. There was very, very few stoppages. An interesting free here now. Paul O'Brien is in very, very good form today. This is about a yard inside his own half, out on the right. Now he strikes from the left. It will be an excellent score if he gets it.
This is the furthest he's been out from the goal in terms of free taking this afternoon. Paul O'Brien has hit 3 points, I reckon. 2 frees and a 65. Looking for his 4th point of the day here in Mallow. That's gone away towards the left, or has it? It's close. Oh, it's just leaked inside the left-hand upright. Good point, Paul O'Brien. Apologies, Paul. Meanwhile, back with play, and Middleton. A little bit of excitement here as their inside forward, Arthur Inganu, had possession for a moment. Now it's Killeen O'Reilly. O'Reilly's attempted clearance has been partly blocked. It's available in the end for Limerick. Millerick, the midfielder from the Father O'Neill's club. Middleton CBS have time here at the end of this first half for something. Liam Gosnell's effort has been blocked. We've played that 1 minute of stoppage time. The referee said at least one Ortskull have possession, and the match official Fergal Hogan of Tipperary has brought the first half to a close, one that Ortskull Reach of Limerick played the better as they lead Middleton CBS 2-7 to 6 points.
Yeah, and they will be absolutely delighted with the lead at half time and their full value for it. Maybe could be slightly even more ahead because there was that bit certainly between the teams, but you would have to say and you'd have to suspect that maybe Middleton haven't started firing yet, but they've just got a half an hour now to save the Harty Cup.
That's where we leave you for the half-time break in Mallow this afternoon, with the scoreboard clearly indicating the situation at the interval. Ortskull Reach Limerick 2 goals, 7 points. Middleton CBS Cork 6 points. The second half starting fairly lively here in Mallow of the 2018 Dr. Harty Cup final. As things stand with 30 minutes to play, Ortskull reached Limerick 2-7, Middleton CBS of Cork 6 points. Goal scorers in the first half, Rian Considine and Cathal O'Neill for Ortskull of Limerick. Middleton CBS will need a bright start to this second half. They're playing towards the town goal end for the closing 30 minutes.
Yeah, and whatever breeze there that is there, judging by the flag on the far side of the field, it would seem to be favouring Ortskull at this point. There was little or no breeze in the first half, but it has got up a small bit. Now, you are absolutely right. They need a very bright start, and the first 10 minutes here are going to be crucial. Now, we say it about all games, but you're 7 points behind in a Harty Cup final. You just cannot afford to let Ortskull Reach get a grip on it or to settle into the pattern which they had in the first half, and worse still even, allow them to extend their lead. They need to make inroads in the first 10 minutes into this 7 points deficit.
Dylan Hogan knows that only too well, the right corner back, and so too his management team of Tim Collins, Tyrone Kennedy, Sean Crowley and Alwyn Carney. Carney, a survivor from the last Harty Cup winning team of Middleton back in 2006. Up with the action. Good battle on. Rian Considine looking for it, so too is Owen O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, the defender from St. Coleman's and Middleton. It's Middleton that have possession. Sent through towards Liam O'Shea. He in turn has left it for Cian Farmer, dispossessed. Middleton CBS tried to keep it alive. Interesting to note also at half time, Middleton did not introduce any new player for this half. First wide of this second half goes to Middleton and Liam Gosnell.
Yeah, it is surprising actually, Mel, that they are going with the 15 that they started with. By the way, I think Ortskull are doing the same, and certainly that was possibly an opportunity for Liam Gosnell to pair a point off the lead. He didn't do it, but they just will have to take their chances, because in fairness, their chances were they were pretty scarce enough in the first half, and they will have to make the most of everything that's coming their way.
Ger Millerick wins a free at centre field. It's within scoring range. Ger Millerick from the Father O'Neill's club. Limo O'Shea of Lisgould will take the free. 13 points he scored in the semi-final, but yet to get on the score sheet this afternoon in Mallow. That's quite a surprise. That could all change here now into the 4th minute of only just of the second half of the Centenary Harty Cup final. This one has been hit well, but not quite well enough. There wasn't that much in it, but it's tailed away in the end from the stick of the free taker.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, they seem to be alternating their free taker, alternating the frees between Liam Gosnell and Liam O'Shea, and I do not detect, whether you do or not, a particular pattern in it, whether one is long distance and the other short distance. I don't seem to get it, because both of them seem to have taken long range frees between just before half time and now, so I just don't know what the tactic is there, but it certainly didn't work on that occasion. But you mentioned in commentary there Ger Millerick, like Liam O'Shea, won a Cork Senior hurling medal with Enniskillen last year. Certainly at midfield, himself and Cian Farmer are struggling there, because the sheer power play of Dermot Ryan and good support play from Rory Duff.
This particular effort was quite an impressive one, but it's gone left and wide, just a couple of wide. So at the start of the second half, one for both sides. Middleton CBS hitting one, Ortskull Reach hitting one as well. Middleton with Dylan Hogan. Ortskull were playing it short in the first half from the goal puck outs. Middleton CBS are doing likewise right now, as Ortskull find themselves back in possession, and Considine sends it through. Ball intercepted by Sean O'Sullivan, the Middleton full back, and a big ball bombed down towards his forward line. Killian O'Reilly plays it to the centre. Ortskull struggling to contain themselves, but they have it. Here's Emmett McAvoy. Tidy defender, McAvoy. Lovely ball. Here's Aidan Moriarty. Moriarty into open space, and Middleton CBS looking now to find themselves with possession and maybe gradually claw their way back into the game. Owen O'Sullivan has played it short. Middleton CBS, loose ball. Midway between the 45 and 65, it's Liam O'Shea, and he knew the very minute he struck it that it was not going to be there.
You know, we saw two graphic examples of the difference between the sides there. A minute ago, Liam O'Shea stepped up to a free, the very same spot practically that Paul O'Brien comfortably put over the bar. He hit it wide. We saw in the first half, Ardscoil constantly using the shot puck out, using it very successfully as a building platform. We saw Middleton CBS using it there and struggling to make any use of it.
Conor Burke, the player that has sent the slither quickly forward. Ardscoil looking for the first point of the second half, and the crowd acknowledging that it's good. Cathal O'Neill brings his tally on to a goal and 1 point. Cathal O'Neill with his delightful goal in the first half, now adding a point. The young player from Cricora. Ardscoil once again, and their influential centre forward Paul O'Brien slipping it away towards the right side of the attack. Owen O'Sullivan, the player to mop up possession for Middleton. Here's Sean O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan drives it forward as far as Inganoo, and Inganoo has won a free. Arthur wins a free, an important one for Middleton. Time-wise, we've 7 minutes already quickly played in the second half.
Yeah, and it's ominously for Middleton so far. It's Ardscoil that have stretched the lead to 8 points now. They have a chance to cancel out that last score, which was an excellent score, by the way, by Cathal O'Neill. This is a very exciting young player. I've seen him playing in the Limerick Championship last year and was very excited about him, and he certainly is bringing it to Mallow here today, and did again in the semi-final to a certain degree. This is a critical point, free for Middleton. They need to convert this one.
Well, time will tell. Here's the effort struck towards the goal. The umpires are united in their call. It's a point, and a very valuable one for Middleton CBS. Scored by Liam Gosnell, his fifth of the afternoon here in Mallow, as Middleton think about bringing on Olin Broderick for the closing 20-odd minutes of the Harty Cup final. Ardscoil forward as far as Diarmuid Ryan. Ryan has miscued this time, is to the left. Middleton CBS restart the game very smartly. Here's Aaron Walsh-Barry, perhaps too smartly, because Ardscoil are digging their heels in and trying to win it back. It's worked out. Jerome Boylan knocks it forward. Nobody at home though, and Alan Power of Middleton being encouraged to drive the ball downfield. He's done just that as far as Liam Gosnell territory. Ardscoil have picked up play with Boylan. Ronan Connolly, the centre half back, delivers it downfield. Middleton beginning to settle a little bit over the last couple of minutes, and they're still very much in the chase for this Harty Cup final. Referee Fergal Hogan has allowed momentarily advantage. It doesn't work out, and Ardscoil Reach claimed possession at centre field. Sent as far as Cathal O'Neill. The ball was by Conor Burke. O'Neill with an opportunity. He was falling, but it's good enough. The nod is good. It's a point.
That was an absolute delightful point, and an excellent point. Conor Burke did all the hard work here on the left. When he got his opportunity, he looked up, he played a diagonal ball right across the field. Cathal O'Neill made the perfect run, and the execution from the young Cricora man was first class.
Middleton have sent it through with Ger Millerick. Ardscoil equal to that challenge, and Ronan Connolly is having a fine match in the heart of the Ardscoil Reach defence. Sean O'Sullivan, the full-back for Middleton CBS. He plays it towards Darren Moore, right half forward. Well, certainly listed there. Here's the other number 10, and that's Aidan Moriarty. Ord Skull eventually doing enough to win themselves a free. And this a chance once more than likely for Paul O'Brien, the centre half forward. The substitution that we mentioned earlier is now about to happen here as Middleton CBS withdraw their midfielder Keane Farmer, and Olin Broderick is going on to the team.
Yeah, you would have to say it doesn't surprise me that there is a surprise at midfield, because one of the platforms of Ord Skull's 8-point lead at this stage going into the last 20 minutes has been the performance of the midfield pair who have dominated there. There's no question about it, and an uncharacteristic miss by Paul O'Brien.
Yes, and play back out around halfway, touched on by Conor Burke. Scores very much at a premium in this second half. We're a little over 11 minutes into this half as we follow the play, and Diarmuid Ryan advancing for Ord Skull Reach, and what a delightful point. Diarmuid Ryan of Cratloe, his second point of the afternoon, and Ord Skull Reach are keeping their scoreboard ticking away nicely as they move in front now, 2-10 to 7 points.
Yeah, they're drawing clear now, and 7 points is a very paltry return for Middleton. But you saw what was a maul or a scrum almost in the centre of the field there. Who emerged from it? But Diarmuid Ryan, he's having an absolute stormer, and he executed a fine point to put his side 9 points clear at this stage. And you would have to say there's danger here.
Off the crossbar, the effort of Rian Considine. The goalkeeper seemingly got a touch to it as well, Alan Power, as a 65 has been called. But lightning shot delivered forward by Rian Considine, producing the best of the goalkeeper Alan Power. The 65 is the outcome. 9 points, the difference between the two teams. The side from Limerick, Ord Skull Reach, 13 minutes into the second half, are very much in control.
You would have expected a response, particularly early in the second half, from Middleton. It certainly has not come. They're finding scores very, very, very difficult to come by. And even in the second half, Ord Skull have just more or less picked up where they let off in the first half, in the first 30 minutes. They're dominating in all aspects of play. We have a 65 here now, which Paul O'Brien is stepping up to. If he pots it, they're going to be 10 points clear. You would have to say it's a long, difficult road back for Middleton. I'm slow to say there is no way back for Middleton. It has been done, but it's going to be very difficult, and that's gone over the bar.
Well, it's going to be a very windy road back anyhow for Middleton CBS as Paul O'Brien collects his 5th point of the afternoon, and really it's all Ord Skull Reach. This is Aidan Moriarty. Moriarty to Paul O'Brien, ball to the right. Here's a chance. A great, great, great goal. Diarmuid Ryan. 3rd goal for Ord Skull Reach. We're not yet at the 3/4 way mark of the Dr. Harty Cup final, and that score by midfielder Diarmuid Ryan is one of the best goals you're likely to see anywhere this season.
Yeah, I'm not a cheerleader or anything, believe you me, for Diarmuid Ryan. He's having a stormer. That's as good a goal as you'll see in any Harty Cup final by a player that's giving as good a display as has been seen in any Harty Cup final.
And we've had 99 Harty Cup finals. I've been at a few, but not all of those 99. Either has Matt. Ord Skull in defence. Here's Diarmuid Ryan. Ryan sweeps it forward. A couple of players looking for it. David Wolfe was one of those. He has it now. Wolfe, 50 metres out from the goal, in search of his second. He's not happy with that. The happier of the management teams will be that of Ord Skull Reach, with Liam Cronin, Derek Larkin, Barry Hennessy, the one-time Limerick goalkeeper, and Damien Gallan. There is a player down injured as Middleton have a chance, and suddenly out of nowhere they have a goal. There was a lull in play and suddenly the ball was transferred down to the Middleton fringe of the square, and their leading scorer and team captain Liam Gosnell was the player that has stroked it home. That's a lifeline for Middleton CBS in this game. It's a small lifeline, but a goal. Ord Skull management team will be disappointed. That play was allowed to continue as their injured party was Josh Considine receiving attention.
Yeah, they will be disappointed not just to have conceded the goal, but the manner in which, because a North Skull player seemed to be in difficulty out there and was receiving attention, and they probably would have expected, and to a certain degree, they probably were waiting for play to be stopped, and it wasn't stopped. But fair play to Gosnell, he kept goal, he took his goal, it throws him a lifeline. You know, there's a long road back yet.
14 minutes of normal time remaining. Ronan Connolly, the team captain of Orskell Reach, is to have his name taken, and with it a yellow card shown by last year's All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final referee Fergal Hogan of Tipperary. Liam Gosnell is going to take the resulting free. I would imagine that he most probably played short. Distance is perhaps outside him anyhow, as Liam Gosnell lines up for this free. Sent forward by him is going to drop left, and it's going to be kept very much alive, and it's in the back of the net. These things do happen. A goal against the run of play, maybe twice you could say, and Middleton CBS are right back in a match that they looked totally and completely out of it just a few moments ago.
Yeah, sure, it's 2 goals in 2 minutes, and the two of them have come courtesy of Liam Gosnell. I don't know if his free went in direct, whether it got a touch from a forward or whether it got a touch from a defender, but a goal is a goal. It counts. It's 3-11 to 2-7. Now, you'd have to say with what 12 minutes to or 12 minutes to go. Let's hope for the huge crowd that's here. There's 2,987 people here. That it's game on.
Ord Skull trying to respond. Can they? Great save. Alan Power. He's kept them in the game again. Ord Skull trying to respond, and they will have to settle for a point, and that point is from Paul O'Brien. Alan Power. Okay, 3 goals have gone past him, but he's prevented 1 or 2 others. Middleton CBS have not played well today. They've been good in very small patches, but they're in the hunt. They trail Ord Skull of Limerick 3-12 to 2-7. And this is Sporting Limerick streaming live from Mallow, the Centenary Harty Cup final. Owen O'Sullivan. Nice clearance as well. Joe Stack out around midfield. There's life in Middleton. Challenged by Josh Considine. Here's Liam O'Shea. It's in towards the full forward line. Ball breaks away. Almost to, well, it is with Liam Gosnell. 45 metres out from the goal. This match is really livening up. Middleton into the goal. Goalkeeper brave Jason Galan. Ball sent upfield, and Conor Burke of Clonlara on the run, dropping it down. His first point at a crucial stage in the match. Conor Burke.
Yeah, it was a vital point for he's about to be replaced now, Conor Burke, I think. But it was a vital point in that it arrested what was a bit of momentum that was going with Middleton. Now, Middleton got the 2 goals in 2 minutes, but the last 2 points significantly have gone to Ord Skull Reach. They're steadying the ship back again, and I think there's a sub coming in there. A very, very interesting sub. Barry O'Connor, who is the son of Ollie O'Connor, the former Limerick player.
And Middleton respond themselves with Sean O'Leary Hayes, the right half back, with that point. Well, Conor Burke, great pals of course with Barry O'Connor of Ballybrown, both pupils at Ord Sculreach. The story of the game, 10 minutes to go, Ord Skull 3-13, Middleton 2-8, the 2018 Dr. Harty Cup final in Mallow. Here's the full forward for Ord Skull, Rian Considine, nice point. The lead is beginning to open up once again for Ord Sculreach. Considine now has hit 1-1 for his team in this match. Aidan Moriarty of Clonlara testing one for the goalkeeper, Alan Power. Low ball reaches Jamie Landers. Neat stick work by the defender. Too neat, says the referee. It's a free.
The game we thought there for a few minutes was about to open up, and we got a very good score there from Sean O'Leary Hayes, and a good score in return there from Rian Considine, cancelling it out. It looked as if at last we were going to get the type of game that we expected. But Paul O'Brien has this opportunity now to put 10 points in it again, and with just over 8 minutes to go, Mal, I think it's asking too much for Middleton. Dare I say it?
This is the free, fairly routine by Paul O'Brien. The ball was hardly over the crossbar and the goalkeeper had restarted the game. Not allowed, says the referee. Not allowed, says the rules. Play now can restart, and this has been a feature of the match all day. At the country goal end here in Mallow, both goalkeepers, be it Jason Galan in the first half and Alan Power in the second half, taking those short goal puck outs. Carl Hickey looking for an avenue through for Middleton CBS. He's fouled. Middleton CBS, 8 minutes to go. They will think surely about going for a goal.
Yeah, we talked about it before half time when they got a free in a similar situation down here on our left. They went for the point that time, and it was probably the right decision to take. I think there's little option in this one, Mal. They have to try and engineer a goal. They're 10 behind. They just have to go for it. They're 10 points behind. They have to try and engineer a three-pointer.
Liam Gosnell standing over this free. 4 players on the goal line for Ord Sculreach. Will he go for a goal? Perhaps he thought it was too difficult a chance. He's instead sent it over the crossbar. It brings the margin down to 3 goals with a little over 6 minutes remaining, as Middleton CBS are also thinking about introducing Gary Carroll into the action for those closing stages. Ord Skull have sent it as far as David Wolfe. Challenge goes in by Olin Broderick, added to by Middleton CBS. Back covering once again Diarmuid Ryan, who in my estimation has been head and shoulders above the 31 or 2 players that have performed so far on the field of play. Overcarrying, affording Middleton a free.
We haven't seen Barry O'Connor get on the ball for Ord Sculreach, Mal, yet. Of course, he's a chip in the old block of Ollie O'Connor, but he's a very, very he's a very young player. First of all, he's about 16, but he's a very, very exciting young talent. And certainly, when they were flagging here against CBC in the drawn game, he added extra energy, and which was terribly important, and a very fresh pair of legs, and actually chipped in with a vital score in when they dug out that win over CBC.
Ord Skull advancing, it's Paul O'Brien. He's well able to score, be it from a free, be it from open play. 8 points he chipped in with in the semi-final win against CBC. 17 points to 2-8. He's had 4 points in the first half, another 4 in the second half, so he's matched his semi-final tally. We've 5 minutes to go. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of late drama here, as Ord Sculreach have had a player red carded. So Ordskull Reach will be down to 14 players for the late stages of the game, as Gary Carroll has been sent into the game for Middleton CBS. So sadly, a blot on the copybook for Ordskull Reach, the Limerick champions, as Killian O'Reilly of Partick Swell has been dismissed straight red for apparently an off-the-ball incident.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see it, Mal, so I cannot enlighten the viewers or enlighten yourself as to what really happened, but we can enlighten you that there's an excellent point there for Ordskull, and it looks to me like, is it the said Barry O'Connor?
Yes, and Ordskull are bringing on James Daly of Nepirshik now, the All-Ireland Club hurling finalists on St. Patrick's Day, where they will play Coola. Aidan Moriarty is making way for the introduction. Ordskull sprinting towards their 5th Dr. Harty Cup title, having last won it back in 2016. Modern day kingpins when it comes to the Dr. Harty Cup competition are the Limerick team, winners in 2010. They retained it 12 months later. There was a break then until 2014, and back as winners in 2016. At this point, Middleton are just looking for consolation scores. James Daly gets play back down the field towards their attack. This one knocked towards the goal, and it's there. They're putting on a masterful display here today. Cathal O'Neill is having a terrific outing. A goal and 3 points he has now scored.
Yeah, terrific performance by Cathal O'Neill, and that was again an excellent score. But you're right, Middleton are in damage limitation territory, and I suppose it's fair to say they have been for the last 10 or 15 minutes, because it's Ordskull Reach are probably dominating every aspect and every part of the play at this stage, and there is no doubt, you're right, this is the team that has dominated it in this particular decade. This is their 5th final since 2010, and it's going to be 5 out of 5.
And on the roll of honour, Rockwell College, would you believe, will be also on 5. And what a save! Terrific, brilliant, awesome. Jason Galan making that save. It's out for a 65. But just to mention that Ordskull Reach are now on 5 titles, along with Rockwell College, who were the very first winners of the Harty Cup in 1918. But they haven't won it since 1931 and are not really a participant these days. Mark McCarthy of Ahada replaces Ger Millerick at midfield. Middleton CBS have themselves a free. It's a 65 rather. 90 seconds of normal time remaining. 65 to be struck by Cathal Hickey of Lisgould. Naturally, it's going to drop shy of the goalkeeper. There may be an opportunity. It's Broderick that's going through, and the goalkeeper makes an outstanding save once again. That's Jason Galan. Both goalkeepers have delivered awesome performances today. Alan Power for Middleton and Jason Galan for Ordskull.
That was a great save by Jason Galan, because the goalmouth was absolutely crowded in front of him, and it was struck, and he had very little opportunity to see it late, but he got down and he deflected it away from in front of the goal, from in front of his goal. An excellent save.
There had been an indication of a 65. The end result is a 20-metre free. Liam Gosnell has no choice but to go for a goal. It's becoming a little bit heated here now in Mallow this afternoon. Middleton going for a goal late on, a consolation goal. There's 4 between them at the moment. The shot has gone high off the stick of the free taker, Liam Gosnell. Sean Long for Ordskull Reach will replace David Wolfe for Ordskull Reach. time-wise, we're into time added on. Ortskull Reach, comfortable winners of the 2018 Dr. Harty Cup final at Mallow. Their supporters will be keen to invade the ground. There will be celebrations as well for Ortskull Reach, but then again they'll have to settle down because they're through to the semi-final of the All-Ireland Championship, where at stake will be the Croke Cup. And following a successful semi-final, which at this point they are favourites to win, there could well be an All-Ireland final appearance. 2 minutes of additional time. We're almost 60 seconds through that as well. But the disappointment, of course, for Ortskull is that they could be without Killian O'Reilly for any such semi-final or maybe final.
Yeah, we didn't see the incident, and nor we don't know the gravity of it. So it's we just can't comment on it. But it will be disappointing. He's probably certainly going to miss the semi-final anyway. We have a chance here for Middleton, but it's academic at this stage, because you're right, there's a minute of the prescribed there's a minute and a half of the prescribed 2 minutes played at this stage, Mel.
No great drama at the end of the Harty Cup final. It's a routine free here for Middleton CBS. It's possibly going to be one of the last strikes of this afternoon's final here in Mallow. Goalkeeper had his helmet discarded. It's now restored, free for Middleton to happen late on. They're looking for options. One is to play it short and back. The end result is to fire it low inside, blocked by Paul O'Brien. O'Brien against Joe Stack. It's Stack from Middleton. Joe Stack lands it close towards his full forward line, and who else but Jason Gallan to clear it way down the field with a clearance of an odd maybe 90 yards or so. Sean O'Sullivan. It's advantage Ortskull Reach here as they look to collect possibly the last score of this afternoon's final in Mallow. Jamie Landers earns possession. The referee indicates that it's all over. There was only a minor doubt about the outcome at one or two stages in the second half. Ortskull Reach were clear-cut winners of this afternoon's final in Mallow. Middleton, by their own admission, I'm sure, will say they didn't play to their true standard, and so it's resulted with Ortskull Reach of Limerick beaten Middleton CBS of Cork 318 to 210.
Yeah, Middleton will obviously, Mal, go away very, very disappointed. In many ways for Middleton it was a no-show, but let's not for 1 minute detract from what was a fantastic performance by Ortskull Reach. There was only a point between them when they met in the group stages. In the quarter final, Ortskull overwhelmed Gael Kalash. They struggled for considerable time in the semi-final against what was a decent CBC team, but you will have to say that they timed it to perfection to turn on the best performance here in Mallow. They turned on what is bordering on a memorable performance in the way that they disposed of what was a decent Middleton team. And to say that Middleton didn't fire is unfair, I think, to Ortskull Reach. They weren't allowed to fire, because in all aspects of the game the Ortskull Reach defence was on top throughout. We have said it several times during commentary. The performance of Dermot Ryan at midfield gave a platform, and the forwards were capable of troubling Middleton throughout. So there were the ingredients of this victory.
Woolly hats not really needed in Mallow this afternoon, but there are always one, always two with woolly hats on such occasions. The dust beginning to settle here. The next act to happen in Mallow will be the presentation by the chairman of the Primary Schools Movement, Post-Primary Schools Association, Liam O'Mahony, to present the winning Harty Cup title to the piano-playing team captain of Ortsgull Reach, their centre half-back Ronan Connolly of Adair.